Well, hi, Andrew Bell here with you with a real treat today as we have a look at one of the Gold Coast's most unique and magnificent homes. Today I'm also sharing with you some interesting numbers that I'm sure you would not have heard of yet. These numbers relate specifically to this whole question about negative gearing. I'll provide those as we have a look through this magnificent home, which is most definitely a one-of-a-kind here on the Gold Coast. We're at 101 Commodore Drive, Paradise Waters, which we've just listed for sale. The home is in one of the Gold Coast's most prestigious suburbs and on 1,129 square metres of land with a wide 30-metre frontage to Main River and extensive outlook over that waterway. A 5-bedroom home including self-contained au-pair quarters, office, library, 8-person home theatre, a grand formal bar room, 6 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen with double island benches and an enclosed sunset entertaining area with barbecue and sink, and even pillarless basement garage parking for up to 7 cars. What makes this home truly one of a kind is that it is the only property with a council-approved waterfront heliport on the Gold Coast. This is a one-off feature that provides an incredible lifestyle opportunity and value for the increasing number of people who now own private helicopters. Now, to add some information to the general discussion about the pros and cons of negative gearing. Most people who debate the pros and cons of negative gearing cannot actually factually quote any numbers and so often argue about whether negative gearing is favouring one group or the other without proper information. Well, here is some interesting numbers. There are 9 million dwellings in Australia. 7.2 million dwellings are owner residents and 1.8 million are held by investors. So 20% of Australian households hold an investment property and 80% do not. The top investor age groups are as follows. 25% are aged between 55 and 64, 24% are aged between 45 and 54, 22% are aged between 35 and 44, and just 15% are aged under 34 years of age. Now, when it comes to the value in today's terms, the breakup is that 35% are worth between 250 and 500,000, 18% worth less than 215, 18% are worth between 500 and 750, and just 6% are over 2 million. Now here is the real interesting piece. A massive 73% of all of the investment properties are held by people with just one property. 17% hold 2 investment properties, 6% hold 3 investment properties, and just 4% of investors hold 4 or more investment properties. Now applying that to the numbers, we see that 1,309,000 people hold 1 investment property, 302,000 hold 2 investment properties, and 104 people hold 3 investment properties. And just 85,000 investors throughout the country hold 4 or more investment properties. Such a small component. What is missed here is that without this small group of Australians investing in investment properties, we would not have the rental accommodation necessary to house the people who cannot afford nor want to buy a property. Governments, or us taxpayers, will never be able to provide enough public housing, and so there is an enormous dependence on the private sector to supply rental accommodation. I noticed an advertisement in the current election campaign which constantly references to negative gearing helping people own 6 or more properties, when the truth is that the great majority of investors own just 1. And it's a very small percentage of Australians who own 6 or more. By taking away the incentive for people to buy investment properties, this means there will be less and less investment properties purchased. And I am one of the few people who were around the last time negative gearing was eliminated. Within 2 years, it had to be reinstated because investors had stopped buying. And that resulted in a massive shortage of property and huge increases in rentals. There was fierce competition amongst rentals for a very limited supply of property. The argument has been that the taxpayer has been subsidising property investors. But this is not the real story. The real story is that the taxpayer is subsidising Australian tenants. If it wasn't for negative gearing, there would be far fewer rental properties available and there would be substantially higher rentals. This is the high risk that we run if negative gearing is eliminated. You know, sometimes you have to support one part of our community by incentivising another part, and that's what negative gearing does. On to another topic, and that has been the incredible activity in the marketplace. Last week was the most amazing week with 24 contracts coming into our office in a 48-hour period, seeing our auctions with 64% rate on the day, with 14 to 22 properties selling prior to or on auction day, and now another 4 have sold since. We're seeing huge numbers at our open homes, and fundamentally the feedback we're getting from people is that they are just disengaged from the whole political landscape. They believe all political parties are as bad or good as each other's, and they are fed up and plan to just get on with life. Most are saying they're not reading anything about the election or watching anything on TV. I've never seen so many people completely fed up with politics. By the way, all that incredible sales activity has come off the back of some remarkable tailored marketing that we're doing at present. We've found a sweet spot where we've uncovered buyers that most other companies, real estate companies, have not yet connected with. Sales range from $200,000 through to $2.5 million. Now back to our property here at 101 Commodore Drive, and I'm sure that as we've wandered through, you'll be as amazed as I am in the quality and the finishes of this home. It truly is a one of a kind here on the Gold Coast. And as I said, there's so many unique features that it truly makes it one of a kind. Details of our marketing agent, Robbie Graham, are on screen, and he'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Well, that's it for this fortnight. I look forward to being back here with you in 2 weeks' time, at which stage we'll have elected a new government with all of our major distractions in out of the road, and likely to see a drop in interest rates. I think we're going to see a very busy real estate market, as buyers already are telling us they believe the revised prices that are in the marketplace now are representing great value. Stay safe, be kind to one another. See you in 2 weeks.